Hello, lovely people. Let me just fix my chair. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the live stream, and today we're gonna look into the upcoming week, which is 8th to 14th of January. Oh my God, November. I don't know why I thought about January. Actually, it's I thought about my birthday when I said that my birthday is 13th. Okay, so my birthday is in a week, so to speak, and this probably is going to be, at least for the foreseeable future, the last live stream about weekly weekly forecast. It is because the weekly videos are about to start rolling again, because I now have the time, finished my medical treatments and whatnot, and yeah, things hopefully are gonna get back to normal one more time as they were beforehand. Hello Seda, Angela, hello, and Robin, welcome to the live stream. So, for anyone who is new, just to explain you guys about the stream and how things are gonna roll up here on the channel. So what we do, it's a tarot forecast for all 12 star signs. It's going to be a 4-card tarot spread. I just need to have a water. Just hold on a second. Right. So it's going to be a 4-card spread, and the spread follows as the first card. It is the topic of the week. That is in case you're curious about the spread. So the first card is going to show us the topic of the week. The second card is going to show us the challenges that we have to overcome. The third card is going to show us what is helping us, or rather, like, what we should stick to if we want the best out of the week. And the last card pretty much shows up the finalizing the cycle, which cycle doesn't mean the end of the week. Some people may finalize their cycle into the week, going into it Thursday or maybe Wednesday. Some people are going to do better job than others, or they're going to do their job faster than others. So that is the spread about the star signs that I'm gonna read to. Also, within the live stream, there are gonna be breaks, and within these breaks, the free reading giveaway is gonna take place. So if you do want a free reading with me, that is the way you get it. You stick into the live streams to the break times, or to the to the breaks, and just input your question into the comments down below once I do announce the break. And in that break, I'm going to pick one question and I'm going to perform a professional reading on the question. Anyone who supports the live stream and what I do through Super Chat is going to get their reading at the end of the live stream regardless. And also, if you do wish a personalized reading with me, you can always go to my website, where at the very front page of it, you're going to see a full list of my services and as well their pricing. No coffee? What are you talking about, Robin? There we go. This is my coffee, and it's actually it's hot this time around. All right. So hello to everybody who are just tuning in, and let's shuffle and do Aries first, shall we? I always stand up with coffee, especially after having a nap, which is something I had for about an hour ago, up until about an hour ago. Yeah, exactly. But I just made it, so it's not cold yet. But I need it. The thing with the coffee is I don't mind it either way. I can drink it hot, I can drink it cold, whatever. It's just I don't mind it either way. I'll just hold on a second. Wow. All right. So, for Aries, what we do have for Aries, the first card, that will be the Seven of Swords. Yeah, well, that's let me finish with the spread and we're gonna dive into that. The second one, that will be the Wheel of Fortune, followed by the third card for Aries, which will be the Nine of Pentacles. And the last for Aries, the last card for Aries, we have the Five of Cups. So those, pretty much those three cards, those four cards. Why I'm getting the words wrong, man? I mean, those four cards. And guilty as charged. All right, just guilty as charged. Yeah, that was one of the things that I had to get my coffee done. Yeah, about the time over here, it's not that bad. The thing is that I am a night owl, and either way, I would have stood up late up until that time. So it's but I wouldn't have a coffee if I didn't have a stream to go through. So, for Aries, with those four cards, that will be quite a consistent week that you are going to have ahead of you. It's a week that you should not rely on any kind of luck or any kind of happy coincidences whatsoever, okay? They're just not going to be there at all. So, meaning that if you want to do, or if you do want to get something done, you have to do it yourself. How this pretty much translates into the routine. Say you like somebody, you know, say you date with someone and you want to hear from them. Do you wait for them to call? No, you call, because that is what you want. So if you do want something into the upcoming week, you pretty much have to do it yourself. It's not going to be presented to you as a gift from the universe, unfortunately. Now, however, on the plus side for you, Aries, it is that once you do perform and once you do push on forward, things are gonna happen in a quite of an easy fashion for you, and it will feel like a child's play. You know, the task at work, the date that you may establish throughout the week. It is just everything is gonna feel like a child's play, and the more you are within these situations of yours that you do find quite important, the more you're going to start transforming those situations the way that suits you best. And that's pretty much the whole topic of the week. Now, instead of making the situation in a way being comfortable for anybody else but you, this time around, you guys are going to do it in a way, or you're going to set up your stuff in a way that are comfortable for you. Now, you may think that that's selfish, and in some cases it is, but if you don't make yourself, you know, satisfied, happy, successful, etc., how you are to make those around you that way? All that these cards are pointing is to start thinking about your own battles, your own problems, you know, your own wishes, your own agenda, so to speak. And it's pretty much that is going to be the drive for the week. If I have to be more precise, that week is gonna present you with a depth depth in returned. It is like if somebody owes you a favor, is going to return you back the favor. You know, if somebody owes you money, is going to return you the money. If somebody, it's not like misusing you, but it is unjust for you. The justice is to be restored, but not because it's going to come out on its own accord, but it is because you are going to confront the situation. It is where you are going to show strong backbone, you know, attitude to withstand your ground. and will demand everything you have been owed. Or if you ain't gonna get it from one, you're gonna get it from the other. And that will be literally the week for you. Very strong, tenacious drive that is gonna make everything you are planning to do a child's play, for as long as you do have the eagerness to do it yourself. It's as simple as that. Once again, guys, stressing out on this, if you do rely on somebody or something else to do your work, it will be an awful week. But if you do it yourself, it's gonna be one of a hell of a week, with the results and with a how do you call it, results and rewards. And the wraparound here with the Five of Cups, it is about the perfect execution, or the perfect results. That you can never have things perfect. At some point you will just have to make your peace with certain aspects or with certain behavior, or in generally you will have to make peace for how far one or another thing can go, and that's that, and just move on from there, knowing that whatever disappointment you are to face, seeing that the limits are below your expectations, these are going to be just a temporary disappointments, because with the future eventually you are to find yourself fulfilling your expectations, just not throughout the week. But that doesn't mean that this week is not going to be easy going for you, because it is going to be easy going for you for as long as you do it yourself. And that was for Aries. Now moving next, we do have a Taurus. It is hot coffee, yeah. Taurus, your first one, that will be the Three of Cups, of Wands, I'm sorry, so it's the Three of Wands, followed by the second one here, which is the Seven of Wands. Moving next, we have the Hangman. Okay, so moving next, we do have the Hangman, followed by the Sun card. All right, Taurus. So within this week, it would be best to instead of forcing your things around, like demanding for stuff around. I don't know how to explain it, guys. It will be best to wait for your time to come around. It's a quite of a peculiar week that you're gonna have ahead. Now, for the most part, okay, everything is going to be almost perfect. And under almost perfect, I mean that whatever patterns or whatever foundations you are stepping on, they are to remain. They are going to be as solid as you have made them, career-wise and relationship-wise. And because they are as such, you will have to make a challenge of yourself. It's like you have to challenge yourself so you can make a bigger improvement. Now, for the most part, Bulgaria, TS. Now, for the most part, whatever expectations you have, they are going to be met from your actions, from the actions from the others, and so on and so forth. But because we do have that Hangman into the third position, it kind of speaks about that you will have to wait your time to come around, because things are going to align on their own accord, so you can so you can seize on the perfect moment of opportunity, the perfect window of opportunity, so to speak, and the perfect, or the right, not interpretation, what is the word? It's not perception. Oh my god. It's a new view, new vision over your life, new vision over over your career, new vision over your intimacy, so to speak. It is kind of like it's not perception. Wow, is that word just jumped off my mind. Regardless, uh it seems that it's just Taurus, you will make really good establishments throughout the week, especially career wise, guys. That week is a fantastic when it comes to working in team or trying to establish yourself within the team, trying to make up an impression in front of your job, in front of your, yeah, it's a job, in front of your boss and in front of your supervisor as well. And it's a week where you do lay down patterns, where you do lay down foundations, where you do lay down like your carpet, your red carpet that you are gonna go through, and and be rewarded at the end. Because at the end of the week, your progress is going to become or is going to fit in a natural pattern, in a natural progression here with the sun card. So the sun card branches out depending on what situation you're in. So we're going to cover right now the both most common situations: career, of course, and relationship. The sun card within the career, it does speaks for a growing trust, and as well growing options that you can pretty much grow into career in general, and it does promises monetary gains once the job it is well done. So you can expect through the sun card you can expect through the sun card a promotion, or at the very least a raise once you get the job done of the tasks you are given throughout this particular week. Relationship wise, the sun card, it is the mutual happiness. It is like when you do realize that how you can be happy if you don't make your partner happy, right? And so you start making your partner happy, and through it you are happy as well, and they start making you happy so they can be happy, and it is just a mutual happiness. So the week is going to have a fantastic end or wraparound, so to speak. It is just you cannot force it. That was my point. You have to wait for the perfect moment to take place, so you can initiate that wraparound at the end. Ortiz, I am. It is just my mouth is dry, and I don't know why. Okay. Other than that, Ortiz, I think I'm fine. Yeah. Hello, AJ. Welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy your time around. But I am okay. Yeah. I don't know what makes you think that I'm not. All right, next one, that will be Gemini, guys. Let me shuffle the cards. Hopefully we're gonna have a easier reading to do for Gemini. Or I'm gonna have an easier reading to do for Gemini. First one, that will be the Two of Swords, followed by the second one here, which stands as the Nine of Swords for Gemini. Moving on next, that will be the Devil card. And the last one for Gemini, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so those four cards, and it's quite of an easy one. It's thank you, AJ. It's quite of an easy one for a Taurus, and just give me a second here, guys. No. Okay, so it's a it's a week where you, Taurus, with enough weight, okay, if you do weight your thing enough, it's just the right option available, or the right person, or the right job is going to become pretty much obvious to you. Now we do have into your reading a couple of aspects that you should be aware of. Now, the first aspect, it is the Nine of Swords, and that points that you should not give yourself into overthinking stuff around, like, for example, what people are gonna think when you say what you gotta say, okay, or what people are gonna think, for example, if you are to wear what you want to wear. So you have to stop having that, I believe the word is prejudice, of people's opinion and of people expectations, and as well of a of kind of like the consequences, the worst consequences that can happen from your actions. You know, things are happening, and they're going to happen all the time. Well, my point here, Gemini, is that you should not restrict yourself of doing things you find right, doing things you find you want, for as long as they're not going to hurt anybody else, right? Based on someone else's a prejudice about how things should be done around. And so what happens throughout the week, it is that once you start doing things you would like to do, you will see that there is a merit for you to start fulfilling up urges you have, you know, like an urge to, I don't know, to get yourself falling in love, or an urge to just go on a date with someone or with somebody, right? Or just to have a day off from work. It is like you will see that it is not a big deal. It is a okay to spoil yourself time to time, right? And by doing so, Gemini, you are going to revitalize, how do you call it? You're going to revitalize um, that it's not an urge, it's a flame that burns for life itself within you. It is just that life is going to become interesting, or more interesting, so to speak, because it could be interesting enough for you right now, but it's going to become a more interesting life, is going to become more colorful, so to speak. It's going to dapple itself more with colors, and it is just, you're going to feel the vital energies streaming through you as you do start satiating the hungers you have. And again, you can be hungry for a relationship, you can be hungry for love, or simply hungry for a time alone, whatever your hungers are, guys. And the wraparound here of the week, it is that at the end you are going to start questioning your current state in generally, and questioning it in a way, was it worth it by now, right? Was it worth it, for example, to keep up fighting for that project, or was it worth it to go through so much with person I want to be with, or with the person that I am with? You know, you're just going to place those questions in front of yourself. Was it worth it? And some of the aspects for your future are gonna worth it, others are not gonna worth it, okay? Bottom line here for you, Gemini, it is that throughout this week you are going to separate not the necessary but the benign from the noxious. And the noxious is not going to be in your life any longer, should you can cut ties with it. Again, it is your choice, guys. I cannot make decisions for you, nor tarot can make decisions for you. So you will separate it, but are you gonna let it go? That depends entirely on you. Bonjour. Oh my god, I am so bad in French. Probably in English too. Bonjour, I believe, is how you do pronounce it. Anyway, welcome to the live stream of MR. I hope you enjoy it, and hope you like it. Did I say Taurus twice? I probably can, I probably just compared it. I don't remember. Oh, well, my bad. Then it was that was Gemini reading. Cancer. First one for Cancer, we have the Three of Wands, followed by the second one here, which stands as the Chariot card. Moving on next, we have the Six of Wands. And the last one for Gemini, for Cancer, I'm sorry, that is going to be the Magician card. It is. It is 3:30 a.m. here. That's true. Well, the only word that I do find, Cancer, for your week, it's successful. So think about what your plans were for the upcoming week, and all of these plans are going to be successful. Now, just let me take a sip. Now, Cancer, there is a catch. Now, they are going to be successful throughout the week. What I mean is that some of your plans may take a little bit more time, just the 1 week, guys. But throughout this one, you will kind of face, or I don't know what word should I use here, meet or establish a milestones within those plans and within those expectations. The thing it is that I just can't stretch it as more than it is needed. So this week is gonna go according and exactly the way you are expecting it to go. It's as simple as that, and that's why, because it's going to be so predictable, this is why you will be able to be ahead in the game with two moves ahead, 10 moves ahead, whatever the case. Now, another issue that we do have here, it is the Chariot into the second position, which pretty much speaks that it will be a solo play week. It is kind of like you can't rely on people around you, either because they will not want to help you, or they cannot help you. Either way, you have to do things yourself. Then it's going to be a bit harder to enjoy the look of your hard work, because the hard work is going to be, or you will find it to be harder than it needs to be, but nonetheless you will do a fine job completing that particular work, to a point where when everything is done, when your plans are now bearing, when everything is going according to the plan, you will establish yourself with a great personal sovereignty and how do you call it, a domain, so to speak. And from there, whatever anticipations you do have for your career and for your relationship, they are going to be accomplishable through a very strong determinations and as well negotiations. So that week you can either push your way through, guys, or you can negotiate your way through, depending on what kind of a person you are. The one advice that those cards are giving you, and especially when that comes for some kind of relationships around, regardless if they are to be business, romantic, or friendships, do not settle for anything less than what you are. So if people want you to change in any way, that's, at least according to these tarot cards, that's not your woman, it's not your guy. Okay, if they want you to change, to make a compromise with yourself, they are not your person, and that is according to tarot. So should be single, probably you are going to attract somebody who likes you, accepts you for what you are, and therefore if you don't have to change, if you don't have to make compromise with yourself, all it is left for you to do is to accept them for what they are and be together in a friendship, in a business partnership, or in a romantic one. So that's gonna do it with the first 4 star sign, guys, and now a break is taking place. So within these breaks, for anybody who is new, within these breaks there is going to be a free reading giveaway. So all that you have to do in order to participate into this free reading, it is to input your question into the comments down below. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do so. And after those 5 minutes, I'm going to pick one question and I'm going to perform a professional reading on the question. Meanwhile, if you do wish your personal reading, you can always go to my website, and at the very front page you're going to see full list of my services and as well their pricing. My website you're going to find into the description down below. How do you let go of what, Cassandra? How do you let go of what? Hello. But that's a very interesting question that you are asking. How do you let go of the past? Oh, okay. Well, that depends what the past is. I heard. That depends what you have to move on from, right? There are things that they are always going to linger, so to speak. Trauma, emotional trauma. You just have to embrace it, that it is part from life, or that's at least. I am not a certified psychologist to know, but if I had to deal it myself, I just would have embraced it, that it is a part of life. It could happen to anybody, right? And just move on from it. But the best way you can move on, it is just, and that's the case with literally everything, you know, a heartache, a trauma, etc., etc. It is by finding to do something that you enjoy, that you love. If you love hiking, go out hiking, you know. If you do love going pubs, go pubs, etc. If you love sex, go do sex, etc. So it's important that you look forward for the future rather than to be stuck with the past. That's the premise here that I am using. And regardless of the case that you have experienced, unless it's not a case that affects you physically, like for example you are about to go to jail and so on and so forth, because there is no letting go of this, okay? And it is a past, like you mentioned. It is like it cannot be, it will not gonna be a part of your life anymore. You just focus on what future is holding for you, what future can offer you, or what the future can offer you, so you can look forward to it. Okay, that's how you do it, or at least this is how I would have done it. Well, TS, not always. Sometimes times time makes it even harder. Not always, but for the most part, yeah. All right. Let's pick a question. All right, I'm gonna deal with that later. Uh, so the question submitted by Michele, am I gonna find someone? Let's have a look, Michele. I assume you are asking that with a romantic context. Hello, Danny. No, it is a week from now. It is Saturday, upcoming week. That's my birthday. That is just as much as I'm going to say, Michele, by February. Okay? Because I don't want to make your hopes high. And suddenly, if I am incorrect, to be to crush down on your head and on your shoulders. But according to these cards, which by the way are those cards, okay, those cards, you should find someone by the end of January. So yeah, you should find someone by the end of January, and it should be quite of a solid find. Okay, but I don't want to make your hopes high, in case I'm wrong and having it crushing down on you. Okay, so but it's going to be quite of a solid find, at least according to the tarot cards. It's November 13th, correct? 12:30 at noon. If you guys are interested into it, 12:33 actually. So I know my exact timing of birth, thanks to my grandmother. All right, so couple of minutes, and then we're gonna do the second four star signs, which are going to be Leo, Virgo, Libra, and as well Scorpio. So that is the first free reading giveaway. There are going to be two more, and like I said, anything you got to do, it is just wait for these breaks, and within them just ask your question, and I'm going to pick one of you guys, and I'm going to perform a professional reading on it. Those who support me and the channel, what I do through super chat, are gonna get their reading at the end of the live stream, regardless. And if you do want your personal reading, personal session, you can always go to my website, which you're gonna find into the description down below. And there at the very front page, you're gonna see a full list of my services and as well their pricing. Yeah, that's true. That's correct. So my chart, my astrological chart is open for anyone. Anyone could check it out. It's a cluster. This is the shape of it. It's a cluster, or also known as knot. And yeah, it's pretty packed, so to speak. In the first, or it is in the fourth quadrant. I don't know why astrology takes the quadrant opposite to the math, but that's besides the point. So it's all of the planets are in the fourth quadrant, give or take one. Which pretty much makes me for out to the world. So I guess that's why I do what I do, right? So Michele, you're about to turn 40. All right, that's let's make a point here before we move to the next 4 star signs. Any tool, okay, any tool of a fortune telling, like for example tarot or any kind of oracle cards, you know, numerology, astrology, whatever, neither of them is designed nor meant to make a choice for anybody. They cannot make your choices, they certainly cannot make someone else's choices, right? And so questions like will somebody is gonna reach out for me, just like Madeline is asking here, cannot be said for certainty, okay? Because you are asking me to make a choice for somebody. Reaching out to you, it's their choice and no one else's. So the best you can do with these fortune telling tools like astrology, numerology, etc., it is to check out their affinity or their tendency. Does they intend, or their intentions, so to speak, are they intending to reach out to you at some point? Okay, is that something that they consider at all? That is the best you can do with the fortune telling tools. Of course, if you go to a psychic and the psychic is real psychic, they should be able to answer you that. No, I'm not in Varna, I'm in Sofia. Where I was born? No, I was born in a city called Kırjali. Let me type it down because it's a bit finicky to type it down. Okay, I don't know why. It's this is how it's typed down. The city of my birth. Okay, just hold on a second. That's the city of my birth. You have? Well, that's great. Do you like it? Because Sofia, it's probably one of the worst capitals in in the European Union, or at least this is how it's classified. There is a classification for anything. I don't know all of that. I don't know all of them. I can't tell them off the top of my head. All right, so Leo, the first one for you guys, that will be the Nine of Pentacles, followed by the Knight of Wands, moving next, we do have the Six of Wands, and the last one that is going to be the Devil. Where is Where was Pirot? It's in a neighboring country, isn't it? Like Serbia? Is it in Serbia, Danny? All right, so Leo, that's let me draw one more card for the Knights of Wands, just to check out more closely on this individual. We have the Two of Wands, the Two of Cups. I'm sorry. So Knights of Wands, Two of Cups. It's a disgusting one. So what we have with those two, let me show you closely here, more closely. Over the Serbian border. Yeah. It's very familiar because I do have friends going all over in Serbia very often. Because the grill there, it's far better than the grill here in Bulgaria, and they love it. So those couple of cards, those two, all right. So we do have the Knights of Wands, Two of Cups, a active enemies. It's, oh my god. So that is a person who not just only does not believe in honest and open partnerships, that person despises those partnerships. For them, the whole life revolves around me, me, me again, and maybe somebody that as well contributes to my wellness. Okay, so it's beyond a selfish individual that you will have to deal with throughout the week. And because we do have Two of Cups, maybe you have developed toward them some kind of an attachment, Leo. Okay, it may be you feel pity for them, maybe you are developing love for them, whatever the case, but you have some kind of an attachment to them. And this one is going to use every single bit of leverage they have based on that attachment to just make their life more exciting. Okay, so just so they can have fun, they may ruin your things around. By their nature, they're very enterprising individuals. Okay, by their nature, they're very forthcoming, in a sense of very initiative, and in a sense of that they're very active. And also when they do have an interest, they always chase that interest. And because we do have Two of Cups there, they do chase their interest regardless if that interest is against your interest or not. They just don't care. And because it is into the second position, it seems that it's going to be against your interest. So you do have a dead weight that you have to carry on throughout the week. Now that's the bad part of the week. Now the beautiful part of the week, it is the other three cards we have for you. So those three cards for you. And while, yes, that person may be a dead weight for you, it's not going to be that of a heavy dead weight. This week for you, Leo, it is about a huge development, guys. So how this translates into your into the 3D world, so to speak, or into the material world. Well, that is a week for the big job to come about. That is the week for the person to come around. Okay, that is the week for the client to place the purchase order. It is just that big thing that is just going to make you to leap into your development and to excel further. I was about to say to make an exponential excelling into your things, okay, into your love life or into your career as well. And within this week, you will be able to make a significant improvement, significant accomplishments, which are going to bring you the recognition from the crowds and as well the rewards that you do deserve. And by the end of the week, you're going to find yourself being so powerful within what you do, within your love life or within your career, that you get to decide how it's going to play out from there on moving forward. So pretty much whatever you say goes. It's as simple as that. And yeah, it is a week for you for a huge progress of your deeds, just whichever field you are trying to press on further. Now, if we have to read cards with their keywords, I have to tell you then that this is going to be the money field. Okay, so you're going to make a quite of a huge progress into making money, lucrative business deal, lucrative job, you know, or a quite of a lucrative contract with a client. It is that you are going to sign up here that will help you to sustain your business, and not just only sustain your business, sustain your career, but as well open up an option available for you to grow the business, to grow within your career, and to in generally grow as a very valuable asset on the market. But again, that's not just only a career reading, it's a general one, so it could be the person for a romantic endeavor coming around for you throughout the week. And like I said, the only thing that you have to be concerned about, it is that person you already know that is going to serve as a dead weight out there, that it is just a distraction, that it is just a something that you have to additionally take care of aside from these progressive undertakings. Varna is a nice city. Yes, Danny. Varna is definitely a nice city. All right. So next one, that is going to be Virgo. Your marriage lasted for 10 years. I would say, I would agree with you. It's about average. Yeah. All right. So Virgo, your first card for you guys is going to be the Seven of Cups, followed by the second card here of the Knight of Swords. Moving next, we do have for you the Six of Pentacles. And the last one we have, that is going to be the Two of Cups for you. Oh, I didn't. Okay. So let's draw one more card for the Knight of Swords. We have the Nine of Swords for that. They always are, I guess, Danny. They always are. So those couple of cards for the Knight of Swords, and again we do have a person here within this spread for you, Virgo, a person who will try to argue you out of something. It could be, for example, your husband that is trying to talk you out of something, or you know, your colleague that is trying to talk you out of something, maybe a friend. And and while their intentions are pretty good, in a sense of that, you know, for them it seems just only logical that you do not involve yourself with the task, within the task ahead, okay, or in the task of, oh my god, what is so difficult to talk today? Yeah, so you do not be involved in the task ahead. They do not understand your true premise, and in fact it seems that you alone doesn't understand your true premise, why you want to get yourself involved with what you are about to get yourself involved throughout the week. Now, this week is going to be quite interesting because of those three cards aside from the Knight of Swords, all right? And they pretty much speaks about alleviated emotional status of your behalf, where you're just going to feel like, you know, now is the time. And while you cannot give yourself an answer why you want to do certain thing, you know, why, for example, you want to sign up yourself for some kind of classes, or why you want to go out with a person, or why you want to hear from somebody, you know, it's just there are going to be those how can I put it into words? Those urges of your behalf to do certain things, you cannot explain them, but you are going to feel that they are, they had to be done this week. And those urges are because with the Seven of Cups at the start of the reading here, or as the main card of the reading for you, Virgo, those desires that you wanted to do for a long time that was suppressed, now they become possible. The Seven of Cups, it is when, you know, the unthinkable now becomes thinkable. When it's anybody's guess if something is going to work out or not, and you just will feel that you do want to try it out, because if you don't try it, if you don't try it out, if you do not try it out right now, you are gonna probably regret it for the rest of your life. Okay, and so that is going to be a week of alleviated hopes, alleviated dreams, and as well some disappointments also here and there, because the Seven of Cups has a very it's quite of a double-edged sword kind of card, or a double-edged knife kind of card. That is because, yeah, it's right now there is an opening. You know, your dreams, whatever your dreams are, they can be accomplished, but they can be accomplished only if you keep your motion, if you keep your pace on a grounded level. So you are objective about it, you do not rush, you do not fly into the cloud nine, you do not fantasize, and so on and so forth, which is kind of difficult to do. But the other thing it is that even if you do make some mistakes along the way, like you go out on a date and you are to blow the whole thing around, okay, or you do apply for a job and the same thing happens, you just carry out in such an unprofessional behavior, and so on and so forth. The Seven of Cups, it's a card pointing that you can bounce back, right? So whatever conduct you are to make that is inappropriate, it's not irreparable. It is reparable, and you can definitely kind of like fix it, but you will have to go through a disappointment which is quite unnecessary. So before you are about to do something that you are anticipating, that you are planning to do, maybe it's wise to think it twice, maybe to think it a 2 or 3 times around before you make your move. And the week is very benign from another standpoint, that with the Six of Pentacles here, it's just you will lift your own weights. That's the only way how I can interpret this card here. It is that without relying on anybody around, you're gonna make your own progress, and at the end of the week, it is the partnership which is awaiting you here with the Two of Cups. Like we are saying, these are a general reading, so yeah, Two of Cups could be a lovely card, meaning that you are to face love at the end of the week, right? But it could be also a very peaceful environment into your career, where you make your peace with everybody around, with your colleagues, and everybody does their job and everybody helps everybody. Okay, and it is just that harmonious environment within your job and within your career. But should that be about love then, and you are about to meet somebody to fall in love with, right? Or you're just falling deeper and deeper in love with your current love interest and with your current partner, the Two of Cups, it's a card pointing that there will be no boundaries in between you two. So there will be nothing you cannot talk about or you cannot share, at least for the time being, with the Two of Cups. And it's very important to, how can I say, it's not even about equilibrium. It's about distance, in a sense of that you have to traverse your distance toward them, they have to traverse their distance toward you, and you have to meet in about the middle of it. So the bottom line here, or what the card says, is that you cannot do their part into your relationship, nor they can do their part into your relationship. All right, so moving next, we do have Libra. Not always, Patricia. Sometimes you wait it out, and it never comes about. It's not only about patience. It's about also two people coming around, because you may love somebody, but if they don't love you, all the patience in the world is not going to make them do so. Love, to me, it's about understanding, and it is about mutual respect. That is my personal opinion. Okay. It's about personal respect, and it is about a trust. Above everything else, it's about trust. All right, so Libra, first one, that is going to be the Page of Pentacles, followed by the second card for you, which stands as the Eight of Pentacles. Moving next, we have the King of Wands. And the last one for you, Libra, that is going to be the Seven of Swords. Wow, Jane, you may let the wrong person in. That's also an option. So you gotta be mindful of it as well. Alright, guys, great week for Libra. It's a week where you're gonna make slow and steady, consistent progress over a thing of a value for you. So right now, as you are hearing this reading, you gotta think of what is the most valuable thing you have, thing that you do have right now that you are working on. Like, for example, you may define that the most valuable thing, it is your career, then you're going to make a progress into it. Or it is your love life, you're going to make a progress into it. So there is one specific case here with this reading, and that is about friendship. Okay, with this one, that is about friendship. And the reading states that a friendship could transform into something more than just a friendship, right? So if you do have a friend of yours that attends to the friendship in a more, I don't know, devoted way than it should, for example, is always there for you even if you don't need them, for example, it always has your back even if you don't need them, then they definitely have more than just a friendship towards you guys. But that's besides the point here. It's a week that you should focus on the continuous or the contiguous, the contiguous endeavors. So things you are already developing. This is not a week for you, Libra, to try out a new stuff, at least according to these cards, okay? But if you do decide that you have to go for something new, by all means, your fate is within your own hands. However, according to these cards, you should focus on the tasks that you are already developing, or the aspects that you are already developing, like current projects, like current relationships, etc., etc. And there will be somebody that it is there for you, so to speak, and that will be the King of Wands. The accompanied card, it is the Knight of Swords, so we do have those couple of cards. Active friends, it is what we do have here, and that is a person who will spill out answers, especially answers that are relating to whatever ambition you do have. It is like, for example, if you do have ambition to become a really good, I don't know, lawyer, so to speak, and right now you're working on that difficult case, they are to help you to develop your ambition through certain answers. So I do believe that that is somebody that it is tightly related to your deeds, tightly related in a sense of that they are doing the same thing you're doing, but you are both not doing it together. Okay, they are doing it separately from you, and it is just a common courtesy that you do have in between you two. And this person is going to help you transform your agenda, help you transform your ambition into very powerful drive. Okay, and it simply is going to help you to find the way, so to speak, and together also you can have a really good time, or so to speak, you can have a really good time together. And it will be very important to have that individual around. That is because we do have the Eight of Pentacles into the second position, which speaks that probably because you're going to be emotionally invested, or it's that the whole thing is going to be very personal for you. For some reason, the details of the matter are going to elude you out there. And that's why you do have this one to point you out those details to you. And that is that person is like, for example, a mentor, it's, for example, a guide, you know, or it's how do you call it, a teacher, okay, whichever the case. But bottom line, it is that by the end of the week, you are, you Libra are gonna find yourself in a position of strength, and in a position of, the word is not development. It's, well, basically, it's a position that now you can dictate the rules. It's a position where now you can enforce certain aspects, and with that you get to decide the outcome, or rather, like, you get to decide the rewards of the outcome. It's so difficult to explain it. Okay, so if we do go with the low example here, by the end of the week you should be able to determine the rules of the deal or the prenup that you are about to, that your client, for example, is about to sign. So the bottom line is that you're gonna end up having the upper hand out there. Okay, you're gonna end up being on the top of everything, on the top of your ongoing deeds. And if this is about that tight case I talked about, where a friendship becomes bigger than just a friendship, so it transcends into a romantic endeavor, romantic relationship, that reading only speaks that at the end you get to dictate the rules, how that relationship it is to take place. It is important, Robin. Communication, actually, it's a big part of a relationship. You know, when in the rare occasions when I do have a girlfriend, I always tell them, if you don't like something, if you have something on your mind, just say it. I may be reading tarot cards, but I don't read minds, okay? And I can't know. Now, there are two things which are happening when I say that. Either they are countering with you can't expect me to tell you anything, okay? Some things are, how could you say it? Some things are should be, I will say it that way, some things should be understood by default, and that instantly tells me that this person has a certain mindset and expects everyone to have that mindset. So there is no arguing with this person. And the other case, it is that people tells me, or women tells me, that or rather like they tell me what they have in their mind, but they're expecting that when they tell me that, I am to change. So it is like a trigger. They expect that this is going to be like a trigger, which it isn't. So yeah, communication is very important, but the right communication. You communicate with your partner, telling them what you dislike, right? But by doing so, there is that subconscious expectation that by telling them what they should not do, they should not do it any longer. But you do not consider that maybe this is something they like to do, right? And therefore asking them to change it, it is way too much. So the communication, it is just a form to take it off your chest rather than to fix. Well, it is a form to fix something, but for the most part, it is by accepting stuff rather than changing stuff. Because if somebody doesn't want to change, no matter what you do, you can't make them. And if they do want to change, they're going to do it regardless. I don't know, Jane, about the most psychic sign of the zodiac. Truth be told, I don't have any, how do you call it? I don't have any insights. Like, I don't have any visions. I don't have any feelings. I don't have any voices that are speaking to me, nor hunches. What I do is just interpreting tarot cards. When you ask me the question, I draw the cards and I instantly know the answer. But that is not because I am a psychic, but because I know the cards. Okay, I instantly know the answer. And the problem is for me to translate it to you guys, because sometimes the answer is as complex as for me to explain you what is the black color or what is the red color. Can somebody explain me what the red color is? Because I can't, you know, and that is how complex the answer is. And sometimes I do struggle explaining it, especially if it is a general reading. Most of the time that's the answer. Okay, it is that complex that it's just very difficult to explain. That's a very true, Robin. Yeah. But do you know what people say, Robin? If you love me, you will change. That is something I hate hearing. Well, what about if you love me, right? What about then? Scorpio, first one we have, that is going to be the Nine of Wands, followed by the second card here of the Judgment. Moving on, next we have the Ace of Wands. And the last one for Scorpio, that is going to be the Five of Wands. The Five of Cups, I'm sorry. Well, that's very common, isn't it? It's manipulative, but it is very common. At least in my case. You know, I had that girlfriend once that she got silent for about 5 minutes, and then she said, well, you know what, we're not compatible, it's not going to work out, so let's just call it off. Okay, let's just call it, and everybody go about their own lives, because otherwise it's going to be just a waste of time, which would say a great call. All right, so it's a tough reading for Scorpio in a sense of interpreting it. Like if you love him, you have to change. Oh my God. Are you sure that your ex is a Scorpio? Because I'm at the other side of the boundary. You know, it's just I don't care. In a sense of hello KDK, I don't care what kind of a behavior you have, you know, and what you like in these kind of stuff, for as long as you don't care about mine. And that way we all get to do our own stuff and get to enjoy each other as well. So what's the point of changing at all? Because if you fall in love with me and if I change, then you are not falling in love with me, but with somebody else, isn't it? All right, so the good and the bad stuff for Scorpio with those four cards. Those four cards. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm getting always the number wrong here. So those four cards. Well, the bad stuff, it is that none of anything we do this week is gonna matter. Okay, so in a sense of that, you know, it's just it's not gonna be important. It's not going to be a defining thing for our future, which is not which is not I think anybody wants to hear. It is like a meaningless strive, meaningless drive, and etc. But on the plus side, we get to experiment throughout this week. So don't get me wrong, guys, the week is gonna be very exciting, okay, but none of it is going to have a huge impact into our distant future, and therefore we get a luxury to experiment, like I said. So the week is going to be for the most part dappled with enterprises. Most of them are going to be quite gainingful, and depending on, you know, what field of your life or of our life we want to develop, there we're going to have those enterprises, but they could be equally how can I say, dense in regards to career and in regards to relationship. And this is where the reading kind of branches. Okay, in regards to career, they are going to be pretty dense because our professional experience is going to stand out, and it is just our traits are going to be sort of throughout the week. So if you Scorpio are looking for work, applying throughout this week is gonna bear a lot of fruits. Unfortunately, like I said, that may not be the last job in your life. It's just a job that may be great, is gonna be gainingful, you're gonna learn a lot of stuff from it, but unfortunately at some point you may have to change it, and you will have to change it. Same thing about love. All right, for love this week, it is a week that attracts. It is just we are going to be somewhat attractive. I don't know why, but the Nine of Wands, it is when the sun and the moon kind of have a bridge in between each other. That is very well described into the Thoth Tarot, and that poses a connection in between two souls, right? So it is like being quite attractive throughout the week, or it's not even attracting, it is like attracting people, which is a different thing. And with the Ace of Wands, that to me speaks that we are going to attract people with our character, not with our outer look. So it doesn't matter how we look, it doesn't matter how we dress. What matters, it is our character, and our character is going to be very interesting to people around, to women or to men around. And we get to try out, you know, dating with that person or with other person if we do want to. It's very important here to maintain our interests, so we should go for the endeavors, undertakings, jobs, people that we do find interesting for us. And at the end, like I said, we are going to realize that these stuff, while quite good, while quite gainingful for us, okay, and while quite interesting, they are just temporary, not permanent. So I don't know, my idea for it, or when that happens to me, I would tend to live it full to its full, and for the time while I have it, right? Or for the time while I have it, and after that, I should have no regret for it, or I would have no regret for it when it walks away, because it's gonna walk away. We do have the judgment there into the second position, which speaks that yeah, it's gonna be a great thing, right? It's gonna be a great enterprise, very gainingful enterprise, but it is not the enterprise we need. Simple as that. Sam Walsh, thank you so much for your $5 Australian. Thank you so much, Sam. Let me put you into the list, and at the end of the live stream, I will make you that short reading for the next year. All right, so the second break now is going to take place, guys. And like I said, within these breaks, a free reading giveaway is going to take place. So if you do want to participate into this free reading giveaway, only thing you gotta do is just input your question into the comments down below. I'm gonna give you about 5 minutes to do so, and after those 5 minutes, I'm gonna pick one question and I'm going to perform a professional reading on that question. Aside from that, anyone who supports the channel and what I do through super chat is going to get their reading at the end of the live stream regardless. And if you do wish your own personal reading and consultation, you can go to my website, which you're going to find into the description down below, and there you're going to see at the very front page a full list of my services and as well their pricing. Michaela, thank you so much for your feedback. Well, today readings are quite difficult. I guess the week ahead is going to be quite sophisticated, so to speak. And for the most part, is going to be philosophical week. And philosophy is something you do not explain lightly. Well, Patricia, it's true, and well, it's kind of like a very personal case. Some people are finding it when they look for it, others when you stop looking for it. I have stopped looking for it for about, I don't know, 4 years, and I still haven't found it, so I guess I should start looking. But to be honest, I am not making it easy on it to find me either. Good night, Starlight. Hope you have a great sleep, and see you around. Well, Mark, if that's a question for the giveaway, I cannot make a choice for you. It's over here. Oh, that's kind of true, guys, because I can only reckon that you are around because you love me. Well, Mark, if anybody can answer that question, I might as well give you the numbers of the lottery, isn't it? All right. So the question, Star Lover 22, is my love life gonna get any better? Why are you confused and upset, Mark? Star Lover, are you right now in a relationship? I need to know so I know how to interpret these. Because they interpret in a different way depending on, are you single or are you in a relationship? Or do you in generally have somebody that you talk to? Because according to these cards, she ghosted you 2 days ago. All right. Well, let me check on the time frame once more. Well, long story short for you, so those are your cards, okay? Those are your cards that I drew just now. Those four. And long story short for you, Gold Lover, by the middle of January next year is going to improve. However, it's it's a temporary thing one more time. So what happens here is that within this time frame, you are gonna kill fire with fire. It is like whenever somebody semi-compatible comes about, which is going to happen, okay, it seems that you're gonna lean to take on the shot over it and just, you know, try out with this person. so you can get over the ghosting thing, so to speak. But the very interesting process is going to happen at the middle of to the end of January, next year, where you will become more self-absorbed, so to speak, and more self-loving, so to speak. And from there on, moving forward, it seems that you're going to settle into your love life. What I mean with that, okay, it is that the love life for you is not gonna be any longer about excitement, and it's not going to be any longer about interest, so to speak, but it's going to become more about a mutual content, if I may say it that way. And as well, it's mutual understanding. So what my point is, it is that from there on, moving forward, you will settle only with people that do understand your nature, aside from a handsome people, so to speak. But your love life is going to improve, and the improvement is going to start happening after the mid of January, like I said, next year. The thing is that you have to overcome that fear that something is gonna end. Like, for example, when you start a relationship, that relationship is gonna end when you do something or when you say something. You gotta be yourself. That's the bottom line. And if somebody loves you, is gonna love you for what you are. If somebody doesn't, then they should, or if somebody does not accept what you are, then they are welcome to go away. WT, thank you so much for your $20 support. Thank you so much, WT. Let me put you into the live stream. Oh my God, into the list. It's quite of a philosophical reading. Was quite of a philosophical reading for you, Star Love. It's about settling for the emotional content rather than the physical excitement. That's the bottom line. So WT, I'm putting you into the list. And at the end of the live stream, I'm going to answer your inquiry. So make sure you do stick around up until then. Or if you don't have the time, you can always rewatch it. It's going to be on the channel as a video, the whole live stream, and you can just, you know, navigate yourself to the end of it and listen to your reading. All right, so couple of minutes, and then the last 4 star signs are going to be performed. Wow, that's quite of a breakup, Dimitar. Yeah, that's quite of a breakup. I know that I should not speak like that, but it was a funny situation. I have a friend here, and you know, his ex-wife was kind of like trying to, what is the word in English? To make, I will say it that way, was trying to make him feel bad. And while she was married to somebody else, she asked him straight away, does he miss her? Okay, does he miss her? That's such a manipulative question. Okay, how can you be married to somebody else and ask your ex, does you miss me? Do you miss me? It's such a it's disgusting, you know. But his response slammed her, straight away slammed her in the ground. He told her, "Why would I miss you? A trash like you is all around the world. It is all around the world, literally, and I don't have to miss you. I can just go to the next trash and find you there." Thank you, Mac. Well, and well, Dimitar, you can never be rude, because if what you're saying is true for you, the truth is only one. There is only one way to say the truth. If there is many ways to say one thing, then you are not gonna say it in a true way. No, but in defense of Dimitar, I get what he is coming from, or where he's from coming from. Based on his name, I would say that he is from the Eastern Europe. And in Eastern Europe, the mindset is very family oriented. Okay, it's like family is everything, while in Western Europe, and that is my observation as well, in Western Europe you set up your life first, like you have a good job, you have a house, and so on and so forth, and then you start thinking about family, which is something that my brother do as well. Okay, my brother, it's at first he wants to establish and then having a family, while here the thing, the mindset is not like that. You think for family first, and then you get to think about job, and you get to think about other stuff. But the things are turning around, and the more I learned about the west world, and so to speak, the more I understood that that's not the case. There are different cultures, and some cultures are valuing, family first. Other cultures are valuing life first. That depends. Okay, but for the most part, what I saw in West, or into the Western world, it is that you get your career straight, you get your job straight, you get your home straight, and then you think about family. And I can pretty much understand that, because in the Western world, everything is expensive. Okay, everything is expensive. You cannot afford not to work. Well, you cannot afford not to work here, but you can get by with a mediocre job here in Bulgaria, while in the Western world, that's not exactly the case. Miss N, why is that the case? Why not from US? You hate Americans? LTIT, define speaking English. Because for the most part, the youngsters, they do, but they do speak English just as much as to ask for directions, and to, I don't know, to ask for a meal, or to get themselves serve the meal or whatever. So it's a very basic level of speaking English. I do not speak English fluent, but I don't want to brag, but by a large margin, I do speak English on an exquisite level compared to the general population here in Bulgaria of how they speak English. Well, I can argue with family first as well, because there are those situations and they do come into my practice again also, that you put family first, but sometimes family goes against you. Okay, sometimes family goes against you, especially if within the family there is an abuse. How can you place the family first if you got abused within that family, right? And it doesn't have to be a physical abuse. It could be a mental abuse. It could be emotional abuse. It could be material abuse, any kind of abuse. So how can you put the family first if you are abused within that family? You can't. So you gotta put yourself first, and if family makes you happy, then automatically the family comes first for you as well, because if family makes you happy, it's part of yourself, isn't it? All right, so let's go to the 4 star signs that are left. So first one, that will be Sagittarius. We do have the full card for Sagittarius, followed by my God, the Chariot as the second one. Moving next, we do have the Queen of Cups as the third one, and the last one, that is going to be the Emperor. So those 4 cards. Those 4 cards. Just before we jump into the reading to the Miss N, to the Miss or Mrs., so to speak, to the Mrs. N inquiry, dating non-American. I don't think that it is a difficult thing to date non-American out there in America, because at the end of the day, America, it's a country found on immigrants, right? There are immigrants there all the time. And something funny, guys, it seems that the visa regime is gonna be dropped off next year for Bulgarians going into America. So who knows? Maybe one day I'm gonna decide coming and visiting America, although I never planned for it. But now, as you are kind of like putting the question that way, as in dating non-Americans, and that the America is built on immigration, it's just how it happened, okay? And it is what it sustained itself into. They are opening their borders for even more, how can I say, more options available, so to speak. So that's besides the point. Sagittarius, the upcoming week is going to be a week of, I hate to say it that way, guys, but it seems that it's going to be a week of a new beginnings. We have the Fool card at the very first position, and as we all know, the Fool card does describe a new beginning that one can that one can establish. However, the Fool carries on more information than just a new beginning. The Fool, it's a card that sits in between the 2 infinities. Okay, it is like the plus and the minus, which means that it is the moment just before the beginning, therefore the moment just after the conclusion or the closure. So you can expect at the very start of the week to have a huge closure, either a closure of a project, either a closure of an argument, dispute, whatever. And after that, a new era into your life, Sagittarius, is about to begin. That era is going to be quite challenging. I was about to say difficult, but that is not the word. It's challenging era where you will have to truly work for your meal and put a sweat behind everything you want to accomplish and you want to do, and generally making progress out there and feeling proud of your progress is going to be quite difficult to establish, because once again the whole thing, the whole endeavor is going to be quite challenging. Throughout that week, though, you're going to have a person who will be quite of a support of yours. That will be a person of the Queen of Cups, which is catalyzed with the Lover's card. So those couple of cards, these are a passive neutrals that we do have here. And just hold on a second. Hello, Anna. Welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy it. And you would like it. So a person who is to support you. Now the good thing about that individual, and I believe that that is somebody who is like a mother to you, or it is like a parent to you in general. Now that person is not going to tell you what to do by a large margin, but they are going to assure you that no matter what, how can I put it into words? So no matter what you decide to do with your situation, say with your family or say with your career, they are always gonna have your back. That is a person who understands you very well. That is a person who understands what you are going through, and in generally what makes you happy or what makes you poignant. And that way they pretty much can relate to what you are going through right now. And finally, how you do end up the week, Sagittarius, it is, or how you're gonna wrap everything around, it is from a challenging start that you are going to have, being very difficult, and even at some point you're gonna feel it like, how can I put it into words? You're gonna feel it like you are sitting against the odds, or you're fighting against the odds. At the end of the week, you're going to have it in control. Okay, you are now going to establish a firm grip upon your, for example, new relationship, or for example, new job, or for example, a new project. Something new is coming about, guys, that it will seem huge at the start, and it will seem, like I said, very challenging, almost unfathomable and unaccomplishable, but you will manage it by the end of the week. You will establish positions by the end of the week, and once you do establish that grip I talked about over it, you will be able to face the ups and downs within it with quite of a bear, and as well you will be able to manage or control, I don't know how to put it into words, it's kind of like maintain it to its fullest. So for Sagittarius, they have to prepare to meet anything new into their life, and again, it's going to be, that new thing is going to be based on your personal status and on your personal situation. Next one, Capricorn. We do have the sun card for you guys. followed by the Three of Swords. Moving next, we have the Eight of Wands. And the last one for you, that is going to be the Nine of Swords. Well, Capricorn, I don't know how to put it into words. It's because the week is going to be very relieving week, in a sense of that you get to get off your chest a lot of stuff out there. And that will be simultaneously an unpleasant week, because you will have to talk about, okay, everything that bothers you. And you have to address out there everything that bothers you. That will be, that is coming from the Three of Swords that we do have into the second position here, and also the Nine of Swords at the end. The Three of Swords, it does describes building up that courage, okay, to lay off all the thoughts you have which are bothering you. Okay, that may be the thoughts, for example, where you are suspecting you are gonna get laid off work, okay, or laid off work. Or that may be the thoughts that you are suspecting, say, your wife or a husband is cheating on you, or maybe that they are planning to leave you. Whatever negative thoughts you have, that Three of Swords points that they are going to start piling up to a point where you just cannot stand it anymore, and everything you would want to do is just put your head throughout the window and start screaming it. I just can't take it anymore. And it's gonna kind of like lay off one day. Hopefully it's not going to be a outburst, but instead it's going to be a gradual, how can I say, a gradual display of what bothers you, of what makes you feel bad, and what breaks your heart in generally. And because we do have the Sun at the very first position of the spread for you, Capricorn, that will this layoff of thoughts that are making you feel bad is going to be faced with an understanding. So what bottom line here, it is that once you do lay off your thoughts about the negative aspects of your relationships, of your life, you know, and of what you are afraid of, because that is what we're talking about, what you are afraid of happening, whatever confrontation, whatever this not disgruntledness but grievances you do have with one or another person, they are gonna start abating. I don't know how you're gonna manage that to happen. It's going to be individual for each one of you, but it is just, you know, you're gonna end up in a really, really good term. So what you can expect from this week, it is that aspects that made you feel bad in generally, or people that made you feel bad, you know, endeavors that made you feel bad, they're going to start making you feel good throughout the week, because you are going to bury down the hatchets, or the hatchet, for example. You're going to see that, you know, what you are afraid of, actually you don't have to be afraid of it, because that is how usually things are supposed to happen, so on and so forth. And from what you thought is going to be, or rather like your expectations. So where your expectations were expectations of the doom and gloom, they are going to be replaced with an expectations of growth and just a natural progression. And the whole negative expectation is caused by a, how can I say, previous bitter experience. It is like, for example, you do had a reminiscent situation that end up really bad for you, and you are implying to yourself that as this situation is similar that you are going through right now, is going to end up in the same bad way as the one couple of years ago, or maybe 10 years ago, ended up? Well, no, you are a different person. Situation is a bit different. You are more experienced. You are simply a better person, and you can do it better this time around. So instead of pitying yourself, instead of assuming that everything is going to fall into ruin, just jump into it and make it happen, because you can make it happen. Whatever you are afraid of, Capricorn, to happen, you are afraid of, your fear is in vain. So if you do not speak about it, or if you do not ask about it, guys, you might as well bail out from it, because the answer always is going to be pretty much no. All right, Aquarius. First one for you, Aquarius, that is going to be the Strength card, followed by the second one here of the Four of Wands. Moving next, we have the Queen of Wands, that is going to be. And the last card for you, Aquarius, that is going to be the Page of Cups. So those 4 cards. Well, if that's the case, Jenny, then you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Well, you're welcome, Mrs. N. I always confuse these two, MRS and MS, so I believe that is a Miss, or Mrs. I'm sorry, so it's Mrs. N. I always confuse those two. It's kind of like... all right, so Aquarius, let me draw one more card for the Queen of Wands, and that is going to be the Three of Swords. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Or divorced. All right, so for Aquarius, well, there is a, I will just address at the start the unpleasant aspect of the week, and the unpleasant aspect sits with the Four of Wands, guys. And as much as I hate to say it, throughout this upcoming week here, 8th to 14th, no matter how big efforts you make, that card pretty much stops anybody to make a closure, or to seek a closure. In generally, that card speaks that throughout this week you won't be able to finalize cycles of developments, which may be a blessing in disguise. We don't know that. Okay, maybe you won't be able, for example, to close up the commitment, maybe because that commitment is going to be a disaster moving forward. Okay, or you won't be able to close up the deal, maybe because that deal is going to be again a disaster moving forward. But it is just the Four of Wands. It kind of puts that strain of stress and pressure, that because you can't close up the stuff around, that you may be not doing anything wrong, anything right moving forward. However, that is a wrong impression, because we do have the Strength card at the very start of the reading, okay, at the very prime of the reading, so to speak. And the Strength card is the card, well, for one, it tells us that you, Aquarius, into the upcoming week, whatever situation you are finding yourself into, you always will be able to put on the right face in. Okay, you're always going to be able to react properly to whatever you are addressed with. Like, for example, somebody is addressing you with aggression, right? But you instinctively understand that you have to answer that aggression with kindness, and that is going to be the right thing. So your instincts are going to be on point. Additionally to it, Aquarius, throughout the week, you will have not a shred of doubt within yourself and within your actions. You are going to be convinced that your actions are the correct actions because they are correct actions for you. And therefore, you will feel no need to explain yourself constantly in front of your children, for example, or in front of your supervisor, or in front of your, I don't know, partner in life, so to speak. It is just you are going to be, you are going to have that self-awareness that you are doing the right thing for yourself, and that will be the truth. However, the situations that you're going to find yourself into the upcoming week, they're going to be a bit more complicated than you are expecting, and you're going to find yourself like climbing a mountain. That is how I love to look at this trend card. It is like climbing a mountain, and at some point you don't know even why you are doing it. Well, the mountain, it is your challenge. But when you do reach the top of it, you now understand, you are to understand there that it was all worth it. Okay, when you do survey the vista of your accomplishments, you will see that it was all worth it. However, you will not gonna reach the peak of the mountain this week. We do have an individual here, the Queen of Wands, like I said, which is catalyzed with the Three of Swords. Okay, those two cards, they are active friends. And as active friends, the Queen of Swords, it's a crisis manager. Okay, that person, simply when there is a crisis, they are a fixer. I believe in Western world there are such people who fix problems. Well, they did this one here. It's a fixer, and is going to, if not fix your problems, tells you, that person is gonna tell you how to fix your problems. And needless to say, Aquarius, this is going to alleviate your positive attitude and as well your positive outlook for the future, to a point where towards the end of the week itself you're not going to be stuck anymore into the irritating and small details of your marriage, of your commitment into a intimate relationship, for example, or of your career, job, project, client, etc. But you are going to be attending more toward the overview of the matter, or what you are to gain when everything finalizes. And that will help you to make a crucial self-assessment, make personal repositioning, like changing up positions, like changing up aspects, like changing up as well performance and behavior, and so on and so forth. So at the end, you can face the looming change that is coming on the horizon. Make no mistake, guys, that week you won't be able to make those finalizes of important cycles of development, because the change that is looming on the horizon, which is, demands a different accomplishments, not these that you are striving for. So at the end of the day, it is a blessing in disguise. It is against you here, because it's going to abate your enthusiasm, and it's going to interfere with your positive attitude to keep on moving forward. Well, yeah, the chat tonight, it is kind of like a dispute, and I don't want to take a part of it right now. In fact, I lost track what the dispute is all about. Yeah, it flows like, all right. I lost track what the chat is all about. Pisces, Five of Cups with the Nine of Cups, followed by the Ace of Cups, and the last one that is going to be the Empress card. Liz, thank you so much for your $5 support. Thank you so much, Liz. Let me put you into the list, and very soon, because we are approaching the end of the stream, I'm going to just hold on a second here. So we are approaching it. Wow, Pisces. Wow, quite of an emotional week here, guys. I have to read that. Hold on a second. What? Oh my god, that's so low, man. Mrs. N, that is so low. It is low like a basement low. I mean, it is like the sub level. Wow. Well, I don't think that all Americans are like that, asking for sex just to see if it is worth their time. I mean, if that's the case, why they don't go for just a you know, people who sell their bodies for sex? It's oof. Anyway, back to the reading with the Pisces. So those four cards, quite of an emotional week, guys, and it's a week where, oh, okay, so week where you are to stumble upon a very, well, something is gonna make you very happy. Obviously, you're gonna fall in love with something or with somebody, because you may fall in love with a hobby, you may fall in love with a job, you may fall in love with a person, regardless. Now the problem for you, Pisces, it is that it will be inconvenient. Okay, it will be inconvenient because what is gonna make you happy and what is going to hold on your happiness for the next week and maybe for the future is going to be unsustainable for the time being of the week. And that will be the difficult part of the week. It is like, if it is a love, it will be like Romeo and Juliet type of love. Okay, if it is a job, it's going to be like a suit job. If you have watched that show Suits, where, you know, the guy that was exceptional lawyer actually had a lawyer degree, or kind of like a law degree. So that kind of a thing, so it will be like a forbidden fruit for you. Bottom line, however, it is that this is going to be just for the week itself. Very difficult, very hardly sustainable is going to be that happiness. So that doesn't mean, though, that you will have to abandon it at all. In fact, even though the circumstances are going to be disappointing for you, that say you fall in love with somebody but you cannot spend time together because they have to travel somewhere, okay, that may also be the case, and you can't talk with each other because they're going to be preoccupied, that you should not give up on what makes you happy. That's the whole point of the week itself. And towards the end of it, Pisces, you're gonna face a situation where you will have to make a decision of commitment. Are you going to fully commit into it, or you won't? And the thing here is that you will have to, how can I put it into words? You will have to take a responsibility for the decision that you are about to make. In a sense of that, if you decide to be a part of it, like to take the job, to throw yourself into the commitment and so on, you stick with it for until it's over. And when it's over, you do not get to decide that. If you decide not to get into it, then you forget about it and you move on with your life without holding on hope that you will have a second chance. So your heart is going to be about to be fulfilled again with love and with emotional satisfaction, with a fullness of life. Just don't miss it. It's all that there is here. And that's about your reading, Pisces, that this week is going to be a week of happiness, which you will have to earn it. Okay, it's just how it stands. So that's about the whole 12 star signs. And now the last free reading giveaway is going to take place, guys. Like I said, in order to participate into them, all that you got to do is just input your question into the comments down below. And at the end of those 5 minutes, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do so. And at the end of these 5 minutes, I'm going to pick one question and perform a professional reading on it. After that, the super chat readings are going to take place. Anybody who supported me and supports me through super chat is going to get their reading at the end of the stream regardless. And if you do wish a personalized reading with me, you can always go to my website, and at the very front page of my website, you're going to see full list of my services as well. Their pricing, my website, you can find into the description down below. You're welcome, Angela. Pisces was really short reading. There isn't much to be stretched about for it. It is just as it is, you know. It is a source of happiness that is going to be, it's going to be ours, and in the same time it's going to be very difficult to sustain because of exterior circumstances. That's all that the reading showed. Well, Miss N, or Mrs. Not Miss. Oh my God, why I'm always saying it is just a to MS to say Miss. It is just a it comes natural to me because it's the shorter abbreviature, so it's kind of like the short expression. But Mrs. N, I can understand those people. Okay, and I will tell you why I can understand them. You alone said that we are living in a strange times, right? So we are living in a times, like I said, that you cannot afford not to work. And for the most part, depending on what job you are in, you have to work extra, right? You have to put some extra hours so you can get some extra pay, so you can meet ends. And it is just people don't have the luxury to waste time. You know, some people don't have a luxury to get you out on a dinner 3 days a week to spend time with you, because they don't have that time. Okay. And that's why they are going to these kind of like more radical methods. Let's, for example, sleep together just to see if we're gonna like it, and let's put that as a foundation of commitment, possibly. And if we like each other based on that foundation, that's great. If we don't, at least we don't have a emotional commitment in between two of us. I personally don't like to waste my time either, okay? And when I do find out that I like a woman, I straight away say it. And if she likes me too, that's great. If she doesn't, that's also good, because liking and loving are two different things. So I don't get to invest myself fully emotionally, and therefore the detachment, if I get denied, which is for the most part that always happens, I do not end up hurt at the end. Okay, so if you do like somebody, there is no reason to hold it within, because the reason that we do hold it within is a denial. And if that person doesn't like us, they don't like us. Nothing is gonna change that. Okay, and do you like somebody or not, you do find out. I personally, I do find that out in the first 5 minutes. I don't know how it works with you guys, but when I spend 5 minutes with somebody, I immediately know, do I like them or do I not, or do I not like them? Okay, it's just as simple as that. And there is nothing changing my opinion over it. So if you do like somebody, if you do find out that you do like somebody, there is nothing wrong saying it. And in fact, you're doing yourself a favor, because you are saying it before you actually end up loving that person. And if they don't like you, or if they tell you I like you, but not as a romantic interest, just as a friend, there is no need for you to kind of like hold hopes. There is no reason to hold any hopes that things are gonna change, because once you are stuck into the friendship zone, there is no going out of it. That's my personal experience. Right, we actually have only one question, and that is submitted by, hold on a second. It was about a job. All right, so news, Devon, is my job gonna get any better? Let's have a look. They are, because Mrs. N, and to anybody, I do not believe that you can be in a functional relationship if there is no chemistry in between two people. That's bullshit straight away. Okay, that's straight away bullshit. Because that's what functional relationship is. You are together in anything, in everything. And I don't know how it works in women, but having sex, it's a physiological need of man. It's just, there is no denying it. Okay, you can do without it, but it is a physiological need of man. And if the woman cannot kind of like provide for the man in the relationship, well, then you may wonder why your man is cheating on you. Well, it is because it's a physiological need. You just have to have it. We have the Five of Cups, followed by the Page of Swords. Moving next, that is going to be the Three of Pentacles, and the last one for you, News, that is going to be the Four of Pentacles. So long story short, yes, it's going to improve, but first somebody needs to go, and let me tell you more about that somebody. Yeah, that is a person who makes mess all the time. That one. We have the Page of Swords with the Tower card. So that person literally needs to go. And these people, like I said, they always make a mess. And do you know why they make mess? Because they think they know better and they think they do better, and they go against anything or everything that the business, the firm, the company, whatever you are working into is believing into and it is preaching into. So they always go against everybody and everything, and they just make an unnecessary difficulties out there, and for one or another reason maybe they are going against you. Okay, and they need to go, and they will go because by, just hold on a second to give you a time frame here. By the end of August next year. So we do have, unfortunately, quite of a long time frame. By the end of August next year, you will have your job pretty in the back, or you will have your job in the back pretty sound and secured. Okay, so you just have to survive up until that point, because firing or laying off that person does not depend on you, I reckon, unless you are not the business owner. And that's pretty much how it stands. What you can do in order to make things easier for yourself here, according to these cards, it is that you do kind of like seek support from your superiors. Whenever you are expressing or having difficulties with a project of yours, with a task of yours, with a deed of yours, seek support from your superiors, because this is not going to be a sign of weakness. Just on the contrary, it's going to be a sign that you care. Okay, and by doing so, it's just you are going to build up more and more respect and more sense of reliability into yourself. All right, so that was the free reading giveaway, and now we are going to jump into the super chat readings. Just let me clear out a little bit my place here. You're welcome, Blue Eyes. I am really glad that you do had a good time around, and that we have you. Really glad that we have you. All right, so Sam Welsh, WT, and Liz Rosario. All right, Sam, your inquiry was about the next year, and your next year, the general energy of your next year is the Queen of Swords, with accompanied with the Seven of Pentacles. So Liz, next year is going to be somewhat important, and I will tell you why somewhat important. It is because the next year for you is going to be a year of action. You do not get, next year, you do not get to contemplate. For example, should you do one thing or another, you will have to, for the most part, throughout the next year, the situations are going to be in such a way that you will have to make your decisions under pressure. But that is the negative part for as long as it goes, because next year is going to be a very fruitful year for you, because whatever you set up a goal, okay, whatever you how can I put it into words? Whenever you decide what you want to do, you will be able to push anything through you decide to do. So there will be no impossible things there. So that could be an year where if you do struggle having home, you can have a home. That will be an year where if you do struggle maintaining your relationship, you can start maintaining your relationship. Or if you are struggle finding a job, you are to find a good job. So it's in an year of a hard and solid push that will be somewhat difficult, but is going to be a very, very successful. Also within that year, the 2022, you are going to come up to some leverage, but I don't know what kind of a leverage that is going to be. Aside from that is going to be some kind of an information that it will be very, very valuable information of yours. And lastly, within this year, it's highly likely that if you are trying to improve your health, that is going to be a successful endeavor of yours. Good night, Robin. Have a great one and sweet dreams. All right, so next one, WT, love and money. All right, these are love, money. I do have 2 more cards corresponding to these 2, but it's going to be quite uncomfortable to hold them both. So love and money for you, WT. Well, both of these fields are looking to improve. Now, the only thing that I want to advise you for both of them, it is that when it comes to love, you should not rush things around, because love-wise, you may, how can I say, end up doing things prematurely. Now, I don't know what kind of a situation you are in love. Those cards are very, how can I say, appliant to people who are single, and it speaks for a introduction, or how can I say, what was the word? Not introduction, but oh my god, interaction that is going to snowball. And for example, you get to be introduced to somebody, and before you know it, you are dating, you are planning living up together. So things are happening way faster than they should happen, and that doesn't necessarily gonna be a bad thing for you. Okay, and it's just if you give yourself up to this premature developments of either current relationship or of a possible new relationship, you may not to know that person very well, or not to know everything that surrounds your situation very well, and thus you are risking into ending up in a state where you are to be afraid that everything is going to fall apart while it's not going to. That's besides the point. Your love life is about to take a major step moving forward. As far as career goes, not career, but money, according to the Page of Pentacles and the Catalyst, okay, it speaks that you are going to start making up money from one particular thing, not from many things aside. Okay, one particular thing into your near future is going to happen to be a quite valuable, like a service you are offering, like a project you are developing, or a job that you are doing, regardless. But the thing it is that you will have to go to some extreme lengths to make it work. That is the only issue that we do have. And also you ain't gonna face much of an understanding of those around you, and there are definitely gonna be people that will think that you are making your money through some kind of I don't want to say fraudulent, but suspicious ways. but your money and your love are going to improve, either of them. And I just told you, you know, what you should guard yourself from and what you should look forward to improve them in a more how can I say, in a more easy fashion. And Liz Rosario, love, if so, when? We have the Seven of Wands, Liz, which is going to be catalyzed with the Tower, those couple of cards. All that I can tell you, that is going to be within the next 6 months, and is going to be through crush. It is just you ain't gonna know what hits you. Okay, you just ain't gonna know what hits you. It's and probably is going to be into the least perfect moment. Like you think that you ain't gonna fall in love with somebody, you know, and it is exactly where you do fall in love with somebody. It's just, that is how it stands. It's like a cocoon, a shell that you have built around yourself, not to allow anybody to enter it, and suddenly gone. It's no longer there. Simply those cards are pointing that, yeah, you are gonna fall in love, and it will happen through a crush. And it will be within the next 6 months. So from December to February, that is somewhere in between December and February, that is going to be the place where you are going to fall in love. If I have to estimate from these 3 months, I would say February. Okay, I would straight away say February. So that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for being here. And from the next week moving forward, the weekly tarot readings as a videos are going to be resumed once again, because I am far better now with my ear. It almost doesn't ring anymore, okay? And I want to pull the devil by his tail. That is something we say in our country, and the premise goes like that: the devil does his stuff and looks elsewhere, you know, and by bragging about stuff, by bragging about things, you are basically pulling him by his tail, asking him to look your way and to ruin your stuff for you. So I don't want to say much, but yeah, I'm far better with my ear. I don't have the sound anymore, I don't have the ring anymore. I have it only when I wake up at the morning, but it goes away about 5 minutes after, you know, when I get my day started. So it's a good thing, and it's a very small ring, and I don't feel that I have anything in my ear anymore. It's more like that side of my neck here, into the Eustachian tubes. And yeah, so that puts me in a condition to resume my work. I hope you would enjoy it, and that doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop doing live streams. In fact, I will schedule a couple of live streams for the next week, and yeah, we're gonna see each other very, very soon. Until then, bye.